Dong-Jin picks up his old house keys from the real estate office and learns that a construction company is going to build a resort in that town. When the man points out the area, Dong-Jin asks him if he's familiar with any incidents that have occurred there. The man specifically mentions the witch and claims that the last incident that happened was the wild boar attack. Dong-Jin visits the victim and hears firsthand about his encounter with the boar. Dong-Jin learns the victim also had feelings for Mi-Jung but couldn't confess, and it took him 20 weeks to recover his injuries from the attack. Later that evening, Dong-Jin and his friends hang out. He gives all of them a book translated by Park Mi-Jung to start the conversation. As the friends talked, a name came up he was not familiar with, Kim Hong-mo. Apparently, he got injured and transferred out. The only other person to know about this was another friend who knew about it firsthand from Mi-Jung when she was still friends with her. His friends aren't sure why Dong-Jin is digging up all the information since it's all in the past. Dong-Jin, however, points out that even though they have forgotten about it, Mi-Jung is living a life where she is afraid of hurting others by becoming too involved with them. He asks for their help to collect data about all of the accidents so he can pinpoint and predict when they would occur. After spending all day and night extracting data, Dong-Jin wakes up to a phone call. He is introduced to someone who knew Park Mi-Jung when she was in elementary school. He suffered a major injury after interacting with Mi-Jung and falling into a manhole. Dong-Jin receives another lead about Hong-mo, and after asking all the apartment residents in the building, eventually finds him when he immediately recognizes him. He asks to meet him at the playground downstairs. There, he recounts the story about giving her candy for White Day and how he got into a car accident soon afterwards. He had a minor injury and took about 7 weeks to recover. Dong-Jin follows up with another lead about the student who got injured at the school trip. He didn't confess his feelings to Mi-Jung, but it took him about 10 weeks to cover. As Dong-Jin gathers more data, he learns that some of the accidents that happened didn't seem to be related to Mi-Jung at all, as they've never even interacted with her. For some, she was just in the same room as them, and for others, she was just watching them. Dong-Jin then begins to measure the distance that the men had with her and theorize that any man within 10 meters of her in any direction was involved in an accident. But he still wasn't quite sure. After restructuring the data and organizing them by severity of the injuries and how the men interacted with her, he had 5 different hypotheses. 1. Being in the same space with her is dangerous. 2. Holding a conversation with her is dangerous. 3. Being acquainted with her is dangerous. 4. Confessing your feelings to her is dangerous. 5. Breaking all of these rules at the same time results in death. Number 6. However, you must also have feelings for her in the first place. Shortly afterwards, his friend comes over to visit him. She confesses that she was the one who started the witch rumor because she liked the church student that got hurt because of Mi-Jung. She didn't know it would go that far and asked Dong-Jin to apologize for her if he ever sees her. Dong-Jin encourages her to tell Mi-Jung instead, because she might just be waiting for that apology. While Dong-Jin has a good start on the data, he is still missing information about Mi-Jung from 2012 to the present. It turns out Mi-Jung got accepted to Hankuk University and majored in the same department as the church student. Dong-Jin has a conversation with him and learns that Mi-Jung dropped out fairly soon after enrollment. Dong-Jin also learned she often visited a theater by herself and a worker had a crush on her. He followed her, talked with her, and even confessed his feelings to her. And though he broke all 5 rules, he did not die and was only in critical condition. It turns out Mi-Jung did not know the worker's real name, as all of the theater workers had nicknames. After the interview, Dong-Jin changes his third statement. It is dangerous if she knows your name. He concludes that being acquainted wasn't the issue, it was her knowing the person's name. Back at home, Dong-Jin measures the distance between his apartment and hers, roughly covering 8 meters. Unfortunately, his measuring tape gets stuck, and he almost gets caught by her. He barely manages to sneak away until she takes a walk out onto the rooftop. Then all of a sudden, the measuring tape snaps back into place and cuts Dong-Jin. He was within 10 meters the moment she stepped out, and so he rewrites his first statement to solidify his hypothesis. Being within a 10-meter radius of her is dangerous. Then, because these incidents happened to men who had feelings for her, Dong-Jin realized the reason why he got injured was because he has feelings for Mi-Jung.